Alright, what's up YouTube? How's it going, everybody? Been a little while since I did a video like this, but I wanted to give you guys an update on the Raptor 700. I'm having some issues with the fuel pump, I think, possibly going bad. I was having some problems when I was riding out there. It would just die and then it wouldn't want to restart. Almost left me stranded a couple of times and I couldn't really figure out what was going on. I would let it sit for a few minutes and then try and start it again and it would start just fine. So not exactly the kind of thing you want to have going on when you're out there in the middle of the woods riding alone. You know, you get stranded or something, it could be kind of an all-day walk or maybe a couple of day walk back to where my truck is at, where I stage. So don't really want to have something like that going on. I wanted to get to the bottom of it, and one thing that kept happening was it was blowing the EFI, the electronic fuel injection fuse, and so that's right there made me suspect that I had some sort of a wiring issue or some sort of an electrical problem. When I looked it up and started doing some research, so the fuse blowing could be from some sort of a short, or maybe the fuel pump's pulling too much power and it's blowing that fuse for the fuel pump. So I went ahead and ordered a new fuel pump, a little over $300 pop. So I ordered it from one of these Yamaha dealers, and it was actually on back order, but I didn't realize. I called in to check on it and they told me it was on back order for another couple of weeks at least. And so what I did, I went on Rocky Mountain ATV, and they actually have a OEM section where you can order parts. Definitely highly recommend Rocky Mountain ATV OEM parts. And I went on there in the Yamaha section, looked up fuel pump for a 2019 Yamaha Raptor, and luckily they had one in stock. It was not back ordered through Rocky Mountain ATV. They actually had two of them in stock right away. It shipped, I ordered it Friday, it shipped Friday, had it on Monday. So it was pretty awesome that, you know, Rocky Mountain ATV had already waited 10 days, I think, on the other order and had no news, and I canceled it and ordered it through Rocky Mountain ATV. So pretty cool that they have that on there. They have OEM parts and they ship a lot of times the same day. They have free shipping orders over $75. Rocky Mountain ATV, definitely thank you guys, thumbs up. That's pretty awesome that you guys got that fuel pump to me so quick. Hopefully it'll help fix this thing. I don't know, maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But something I learned while I was ordering the new fuel pump for the Raptor 700 that I didn't realize before was that the fuel pumps on these have changed part numbers. Now I don't know if that means that the one that's in here is obsolete. This is a 2019 Raptor, and when you go on the microfiche for a 2019 Raptor, you look up the fuel pump, it has been crossed out. There's a new updated fuel pump number. So a lot of times that means that they've changed the design. Sometimes it means they changed the part number. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I'm gonna go ahead and compare the old fuel pump to the new fuel pump and see if the fuel pump on my 2019 Raptor has indeed gone bad, and replace it. The symptoms I was having before is it would die out there on the trail, wouldn't want to restart when it was hot. It was having a hot no start issue. If I was riding really hard, I would turn it off, go to turn it back on, and I'd hear the fuel pump kick on and everything, but it would never actually want to start. It would just sort of turn over and not start. So eventually it would start if I let it sit, or if I just turned it over, cranked it a really long crank, it would eventually start. But it was really worrisome, and then it started blowing the fuse for the EFI. The EFI fuse would blow in the back underneath the seat, in the little black box there underneath your seat. So once I'd replaced that a few times, it would start right up after I replaced the fuse. And then one day I replaced the fuse and it refused to start. It just absolutely would not start. This was a fairly hot day. It was about 100, 110 degrees outside. So I hadn't been riding it. It was just sitting in storage. I went to go ride it and it just flat refused to start. So I didn't know if something was going on with the fuel pump, but I couldn't get the fuel pump to kick on. I didn't know if that meant there was already enough pressure in there, it just didn't need to pump anymore, or if there was something wrong with the fuel pump. So here we have our new fuel pump. This is the fuel pump number 1S31390711. That's the new updated fuel pump. Just give you guys a quick peek. This is the new fuel pump. There's the new, brand new fuel pump. And you can see it's got this kind of like tea bag looking thing on the bottom down here. It's like a filter. So the pickup is right there for the fuel. Goes up in here. This is the pump mechanism. And see where it connects right here. This is the part that sticks out the top of your tank. And this actually all sits right down in the tank of the Raptor 700. This fuel pump mechanism sits inside the tank. And this part right here connects to your harness. This part connects to your fuel system. Keep that capped off for now. So we're gonna pull out the fuel pump that's in there, put this one back in, might drain the tank in between, put some fresh fuel in there just to rule out that maybe the fuel that's in there is contaminated and causing possibly part of the problem if there's some moisture or something that got in there, or maybe just some old bad gas. But I've always used fresh brand new gas in here. I can't imagine that happening, but it is possible. I pulled up to a pump somewhere and got some bad gas off of a pump. So here's the new fuel pump, guys. We're gonna go ahead and put this in. Out. So I'm just gonna grab a screwdriver. I got that out of there. All right, now here's the old one and here's the new one, and you can see about the only difference I've seen so far is this one has a blue wire and this one has a red wire, and the black wire is the same. Everything looks pretty much the same on the new one versus the old one, but I need to take this old plastic piece off, put it on this new one because it looks like it doesn't come with it. So this, again, this one on the left here though, this is the old model. This is the one that's the 1S3 1390710, and this is the one that ends in -11. So this is the new updated model. I don't know, let me know if you guys see any differences. It sure looks pretty identical to me. Other than the fact this one has the plastic piece on it still. I'll go ahead and take the plastic piece off and maybe we can see some differences down below in that blue mechanism there. But there you have it, guys. Those are your fuel pumps there. This is a new fuel pump. There's your old fuel pump for the Raptor 700. Go ahead and pull this off of here and move it over to the other one.